All right, Brakathea, how Brakathea, Shai, Brakathea, how Brakathea, Shai, Brakathea, how Brakathea, how Bashim, Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash, the blindness of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Drew well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim, Akim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the pre Shaman, this week's topic is going to be entitled Coming Oil Crisis to the United States. The inspiration for the show came from the fact that, look, news broke. This is CNN Business. It says global stocks are mixed as U.S. oil futures crash below $0 a barrel. So actually, they have the futures going for -7. I'm not gonna go too much in depth of what that means. I'm just gonna try to simplify it. All right. So that's the equivalent of saying if oil is at -7, that means it's more profitable to give you oil than to sell it to you. Meaning the barrels and the production are costing a lot more than it is to produce the thing, the crude oil, right? So what does that mean? Here's a few quotes above from some of the dragons, wicked Edomites. Um, Here they all say the same thing. The way to make money is to buy when blood is running in the streets. Buy total garbage when there's blood in the streets. In the streets, even if there's this dude Baron Rothschild, he says the same thing, even if blood is your own, right? So what happened was Vladimir Putin, along with MBS, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, cut oil productions in the midst of this crisis, which drive the price of oil really down. When I went to the pump the other day, it was $1.89, and that's gonna cause more calls on the streets, right? But the devils see things out for the future. Now, why do I say that there's gonna be a coming oil crisis here in America? Because this situation is gonna force a lot of oil businesses to go bankrupt, right? Because look, planes aren't running, cars aren't running, the need for oil for cars is cut 50% due to the pandemic, right? And you can see how this thing could be manipulated. You can see why they're saying, look, push this coronavirus, push the fear heavy, extend this thing out, crash certain things. And guess what these devils are doing? You guessed it. They buying. Now the hope is, in their mind, is certain oil companies are going to go bankrupt, and that's going to happen. They're going to go under. That was a move by Vladimir Putin and MBS, right? Now, how does it affect you? Well, in the short term, oil prices are going to be down. But if you have oil companies collapse and then the economy opens back up, which that's Trump's plan, with less companies to produce this commodity here, because you're going to always need this thing. You're going to always need gas to, to run your house, move things going, move economies. With less companies producing it, and then there's suddenly a high demand for it, they're gonna have to spike up the price to maintain. They're gonna have to spike up the supply and the price to feed the demand. So there's a couple ways you could bring up the price of oil. One, they do it is with war. So war tensions are already brewing. And another way they could do it is just by spiking the price up. So there's a looming, coming oil crisis on the American people's hands. Now this is the book of Isaiah 33:6. It says, "Howl ye, for the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai is at hand. It shall come as destruction from the Almighty." So this place is systematically going down. Destruction is coming upon America, right? From Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because this place ultimately shall be destroyed via thermonuclear destruction. It says, "Therefore shall hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt." And people are afraid right now. There's this one particular woman I was talking to that she was saying, stay in, right? Now when I hit her up, she's saying, man, I need to get back to work now. So, I tested something. I said, look, man, they saying this thing might go another year. And I could feel the dread that just fell upon her, like if it was to go another year. So if I'm saying that to this one woman, imagine the effects when the news media had that death toll going across the bottom of the screen and telling you 2 years till the vaccine. You can see the dread that's being put upon people, which is all done by design. It says, verse 8 now, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. So that's the labor pangs that a woman goes through when she's about to give birth. And how do they come? The contractions, they hurt and they come sporadically. You don't know when they're going to hit, because right now, since 2020, you had a war crisis pandemic. That's one pang. You had the death of all these celebrities. That's another pang. You have this COVID-19. That's another pang. You have the lockdown. That's another pang. And guess what? Another pang having looming over your head. You got an oil crisis that's going to come up, man. I'm talking about going to pump, seeing $4 or $5, $6, $7, you know? And people ain't going to have that type of money. So that's going to even lead to more disaster. So there's a lot of shit happening. There's a lot of things happening. It says, and they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. So people are pissed off. They're going to be mad because they're like, damn, here it is. I just dealt with this crisis of being locked down, losing my mortgage. Had to take out this much loan, that much loan. You know, people are afraid of being sick. Now you're telling me I'm going to the pump, I'm seeing $4, $5, $6 for gas. I don't have the money to afford it. So that's another pang that's coming. Look, 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter, the first verse. Prophesy unto the world, let me get it. Let me not butcher nothing, man. Let me not butcher nothing. Let's go to it. Let's get it. All right, we're going to go right to it. It's one of my favorite scriptures right here. It's on it already. 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the true Israelites, according to the Bible, the words of prophecy. Say things before they happen according to the scripture, which I will put in thy mouth. So I'm not saying these words. It's the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua putting these words in my lips, all right, that you hearing, saith the Lord. You know? And cause them to be written in paper. Now, I don't have no paper. The modern day version of that is putting it up on the videos, right? So instead of writing like we did in the ancient times, we're putting together lessons, because the modern day epistles is these video epistles. For they are faithful and true. So pursuant to the book of Romans 3:3, for what if some did not believe? Shall they unbelief make the faith of the Most High of no effect? Hell no. These things are going to come to pass. You know, that's something I've been saying through the Spirit, man. An oil crisis is going to come here. All right? Fear not the imaginings against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. The non-belief that speak against thee. So this is a heavy thing, man. This has never been done in U.S. history. I mean, it's in the news, but it's not in the news heavy, because you have the other pang right now, which is this lockdown situation looming over Americans' people's heads right now, and the protests and the civil unrest due to that. But while they're trying to get that in order, there's another pang coming, all right, which is this coming oil crisis, man. -$7 futures, man. Imagine gold, you wake up, gold was -$7. Now, I want to say one thing, too. That's not worldwide. That's only here in America. You know what I'm saying? So what does that tell you? That tells you that, look, if it's not worldwide and it's only here in America, America's going to have to, that price is, the true price of that joint is still going to be something of certain value. So you're going to have to ramp up production after these companies go bankrupt, and affecting not just gas at your not just the gas that fills your car up, but everything dealing with gas, man. That's going to affect your bills. That's going to affect travel. All right, whether it be airplanes, that's going to affect shipping. That's going to affect a lot of things, man. Oil plays a major part in keeping societies going. So that it ain't going to just stop at the pump, man. A lot of things are going to be inflated, and people don't even have the money right now for that situation, because they've been stifled out with this lockdown. So it's just getting heavy. It says, behold, the days of the Lord cometh cruel. both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. There's going to come a time where things are going to get escalated to a World War III event. And the days of the Lord are not happy days and sunshines and rainbows. The day of the Lord is a dark, gloomy day. So leading up to the events of our Lord coming back, expect all types of hell, death, destruction. Right now, there is going to come a time where there's going to be a false sense of, damn, we got everything together, we doing good. Yo, after all that shit, we straight. A false sense of peace and safety, pursuant to the book of Thessalonians and pursuant to the book of Matthew. They were laughing, they were giving into marriage and all that. That part is going to come. But before that, you're going to have all types of hell, tribulation, turmoil, destruction ramping up, right? Then you're going to have a false sense of safety, a false sense of peace. And then when you finally think you're good, you never go, where we got, then sudden destruction is going to fall upon America like you've never seen before, ever. Making these current situations that you see now look like a happy-go-day at Disneyland. That's the coming fate of America. With that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, which you well. And salutations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to Sadakim to do this thing in most truth and sincerity. Shalom.